All right, workout for January 17th. Again, all January we're doing this yoga flow. I really like these as a reset on Sundays. Whenever I'm really sore, but want to still work out, but I'm just like, I worked too many pieces where it's like a little sore in the shoulder and the legs and I'm not sure what to do. Again, it's always okay to work out when you're sore, but sometimes it's hard to get motivated. So these yoga flows, I always feel like are such a safe thing to do, and then I feel really warm and loose, so it kind of helps. So you can always go back to these on days when you're really sore but still want to work out. So we're going to start in downward facing dog. So this is going to be our twisting chair pose flow. So again, down dog is plank, but I am in that A-frame, knees bent, especially let's say your hamstrings are tight and you look like this in your down dog. We're going to bend the knees so that I can make a straight line with my arms. It's not about my legs being straight, it's about my back. So the knees bent helps that happen. So down dog, and then I'm going to do three-legged down dog. So I'm going to lift up my right leg first. So three-legged down dog. Your three-legged down dog might look like this. You might have it higher, you might have them stacked, you might have your leg back here. So it doesn't really matter. It's just a nice stretch for the legs. So from there, I'm going to go to wild thing. So I'm going to take that foot behind me, and as long as it's bent, it'll make it there before your other leg does. So it's side plank with the leg planted behind me and pushing with that glute. Depending on your shoulder mobility, you might start to open a little more of an arch or a little more to the ceiling, but honestly, just a modified side plank is really good. You have 20 seconds there, so you might be moving around with that arm, and then I'm going to go back to three-legged down dog for 20 seconds. But again, you might play with the transition during that 20 seconds of getting really slow up to crescent or pyramid. So my foot steps in between my hands. If it doesn't get there, pick it up and put it there. Legs are relatively straight, so if you're tight, they might still be a little bit bent. But dropping the head, you got pyramid, and then crescent lunge. So if your pyramid was short, maybe your crescent lunge, you have to adjust your feet back. I like pressing my palms together, so my legs are pressing down, because this is where I want to get low. You can get as close to 90 degrees with this leg as possible. And then my hands press together, so they're pressing up, and then I've got this nice slight back bend happening, which I so need with my posture. All right, so there's your crescent lunge for 20 seconds, and then I'm going into twisting. So I'm going to put my elbow. If you're tight, maybe it's your wrist, but I'm trying to get my elbow or my tricep to that knee, and then slightly pressing down with your top hand to get a little bit of a twist. If you're tight, maybe that back leg is bent a little bit. Modified version would be down here. This does not have to be the biggest twist of your life, right? I don't have to really twist too far with this one, but twisting crescent lunge. Then I'm going to play with my balance of getting to a twisting chair pose. So I'm going to scoot back so you can see me. So I kind of have to float forward. So I'm going to lean forward a little bit, maybe drag my back foot, and then when I'm ready, you can pick it up. And again, you have 20 seconds to play, so maybe you play with that, which we may be doing next week, but you're ending up in twisting chair pose. So here's the twisting chair pose position for 20 seconds, then actual chair pose. So my legs are together, a little different than like a squat. It's really hard to get too much lower than this, but it's up to you, like how low you want to go with your feet. Hands can be here. If you need this stretch, your hands can be behind you, and they can also be like traditional chair pose, up in the air, wide, together, totally up to you. Then I'm just going to come to a standing before eventually forward folding. So the when you're in chair pose, your legs are going to be on fire. So you can stay here for 20 seconds and then stand up and forward fold. Or you might do chair pose for 10 seconds and then stand for 10 seconds before you eventually make it down to the forward fold, since the forward fold is the position you're holding for a bit longer. So with these poses, you've got the main 10 pieces, but to get to the other piece, you kind of have to go through another pose. So you'll see that I put that like in parentheses, the chair pose, parentheses, stand, to make it to the 10th thing, which is the forward fold. So you're gonna go through, that was one leg, then you'll go through the other leg. And so with your SmartWatt timer, all right, you're gonna do the Tabata section. I should have said this in the beginning, but you're gonna go to the Tabata section, which I think you guys are familiar with. You're gonna do 20 20 seconds of work and 0 seconds of rest for either 60 rounds, which makes it like a 20-minute workout, or 80 rounds, which makes it a 27-minute workout. 80 and 60 sound daunting, but you're going through them pretty quick. Again, as you're doing this, you have 20 seconds in each pose, but as you saw, you might start to use that 20 seconds to really transition very slowly as you're bringing your foot up, and you might start to take your time and get slower as you go. So this is your workout for January 17th. We have our twisting lunge and twisting chair pose. See you guys on Sugar WOD.